What in fact is equality? The term has been much involved but little analyzed. A and B are equal if they are identical to each other with respect to a given attribute. Thus, if Smith and Jones are both exactly 6 feet in height, then they may be said to be equal in height. If two sticks are identical in length, then their lengths are equal, etc. There is one and only one way, then, in which two people can really be equal in the fullest sense. They must be identical in all of their attributes. This means, of course, that equality of all men, the egalitarian ideal, can only be achieved if all men are precisely uniform, precisely identical with respect to all of their attributes. The egalitarian world would necessarily be a world of horror fiction, a world of faceless and identical creatures, devoid of all individuality, variety, or special creativity. Indeed, it is precisely in horror fiction where the logical implications of an egalitarian world have been fully drawn. Professor Shoke has resurrected for us the depiction of such a world in the British anti-utopian novel Facial Justice by L.P. Hartley, in which envy is institutionalized by the states making sure that all girls' faces are equally pretty, with medical operations being performed on both beautiful and ugly girls to bring their faces up or down to the general common denominator. A short story by Kurt Vonnegut provides an even more comprehensive description of a fully egalitarian society. Thus Vonnegut begins his story, Harrison Bergeron. The year was 2081, and everybody was finally equal. They weren't only equal before God and the law, they were equal in every which way. Nobody was smarter than anybody else. Nobody was better looking than anybody else. Nobody was stronger or quicker than anybody else. All this equality was due to the 211th, 212th, and 213th Amendments to the Constitution and to the unceasing vigilance of the agents of the United States Handicapper General. The handicapping worked partly as follows. Hazel had a perfectly average intelligence, which meant she couldn't think about anything except in short bursts. And George, while his intelligence was way above normal, had a little Menti handicap radio in his ear. He was required by law to wear it at all times. It was tuned into a government transmitter. Every 20 seconds or so, the transmitter would send out some sharp noise to keep people like George from taking unfair advantage of their brains. The horror we all instinctively feel at these stories is the intuitive recognition that men are not uniform, that the species, mankind, is uniquely characterized by a high degree of variety, diversity, differentiation, in short, inequality. An egalitarian society can only hope to achieve its goals by totalitarian methods of coercion. And even here, we all believe and hope the human spirit of individual man will rise up and thwart any such attempts to achieve an ant-heap world. In short, the portrayal of an egalitarian society is horror fiction because when the implications of such a world are fully spelled out, we recognize that such a world and such attempts are profoundly anti-human. Being anti-human in the deepest sense, the egalitarian goal is, therefore, evil. And any attempts in the direction of such a goal must be considered evil as well. 808 Outlaw.